All right, guys. Today we have some huge news out of the League of Legends world to talk about. Los Ratones. This is Cadrill's new team that's going to be competing in the ERLs next year. This is a really exciting, massive, fun project that is just absolutely star-studded lineup, especially for an ERL team. We have Reckless, Nemesis, Baus, Crowny. This team is going to be so fun to watch. They already competed in a tournament. They already won the NNO Cup with a 10,000 euro prize for first place. They're already doing insane numbers across all social medias, but we still didn't know what ERL they were actually going to be competing in next year. So today, Sheep Esports is bringing you the news. This was a couple days ago, but we're bringing it to you on YouTube today, that Los Ratones is set to compete in the NLC for next year. So that's what we're going to be talking about this video today. All the details that went into all this stuff, and a couple of other places that Los Ratones almost ended up as well. But of course, first, just want to mention real quick that Holy and Sheep Esports are going even a step further. Their partnership with Holy not only now has the code SE5 for a €5 discount on your first order, but there's also SE10 for 10% off on all your orders. So definitely check out that first link in the description below and buy some Holy today. Great tasting energy drinks that also just happen to be healthier than the competition. With that being said, let's get right into this. So here is our article on sheepesports.com from Wooloo himself. Sources: Los Ratones are set to join the NLC in 2025. Now, this is really where I was hoping Los Ratones would end up, not because I love the NLC or even really care what ERL they're going to be participating in, but as we'll get into in this article, this is also the ERL which Yankos and Perks are going to be competing in next year as well. So this is going to be super entertaining. We have two of the kind of streamer teams both competing in the same ERL. They're going to be going up head-to-head against each other. I think that really is the best for content and viewership and for the overall eyeballs of this whole thing. I think that's a win-win for both of these teams. I think Los Ratones is happy to be competing against Rudy, and I think Rudy is really happy to have Los Ratones in the NLC as well. So I think it's going to make this thing a lot more fun. We also have so many rivalries. Reckless taking on Perks and Yankos. Super fun stuff like that. So Los Ratones will debut in the NLC for the 2025 season. Cadrill's team, Los Ratones, recently celebrated a victory at the NNO Cup, but their journey is just beginning. Starting in 2025, the team will compete in Europe's Tier 2 professional League of Legends ecosystem, the ERLs. Los Ratones will represent the Nordic region next year, having secured a spot in the NLC, the Northern League of Legends Championship. As one of the two new expansion teams joining the league, they arrived during a pivotal period of restructuring for the NLC. With two players hailing from that region, we have the Baus and we have Reckless. The roster meets the ERL requirement of at least two locally trained representatives for a team to represent any league. Interestingly, Los Ratones could have also attempted to compete in the EBL, the Esports Balkan League, where they fulfilled the LTR requirements as well with Nemesis, Crowny, and Velja. So that is why this is actually interesting, because we didn't know where they were going to be competing just yet. I know some people were really speculating that they were going to go to the NLC, but I also saw a ton of people on Twitter and Reddit and stuff saying, hey, they're probably going to end up in this Balkan League instead. So the community was kind of split on where we thought Los Ratones was going to end up, but like I said, I do think the NLC is the better place for them to be, just because they have those other big name players and this other esports project going on. They can be their direct rival, they can be their direct competitor, and they can hopefully push each other to make better and better content, but also higher and higher quality gameplay. Just having them all in the same region is better, so we actually get those matchups rather than having to rely on both these teams hopefully making it to EU Masters and then eventually maybe getting to play like one series against each other or something like that. So I do think this is the best case scenario for the League of Legends esports scene. For those unfamiliar with the ERLs and the NLC, Europe's secondary competitive ecosystem, the LEC, check out our beginner's guide, What is the NLC? So we do have an article and resources and all that stuff for you guys to look out for there if you're looking to get more info on what these ERLs and everything mean. The NLC is one of the many leagues seeing a wave of restructuring consolidation through the greater esports ecosystem. Sources tell Sheep Esports that the NLC will expand from 8 to 10 teams in 2025. One of those new spots will be acquired by Los Ratones. The other additional spot will be awarded to the winner of the last chance qualifier between former NLC Division 2 teams. As part of the ERL reforms for the next cycle in 2025, ERL's second tier divisions won't be mandatory anymore. Consequently, alongside a majority of the ERLs, the tournament organizers of the NLC have decided to drop their second division. Instead, national leagues of each participating country are expected to take the place of the NLC Division 2. Currently, the NLC includes the following regions: UK, Ireland, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Iceland. So that's, the NLC, that's what they are. The ERL for that, you have like the, obviously you have, like the French league and you have the Spanish league and everything. So that is the countries that obviously kind of filter into the NLC. While previously serving as a facto third division of the NLC ecosystem. They will now function as a new Tier 2 competition. More changes to the NLC. The NLC will be among the leagues adopting one of the biggest ecosystem changes to the ERLs in 2025. Players will be permitted to stream their in-game perspective during official matches. This change was closely tied to Los Ratones' decision to join the league, since being allowed to stream their perspective was a key condition for some members of the Superstar roster before they signed on. While specific formats for each ERL for 2025 have yet to be announced, all leagues will share a common structure, a 3-split format. The NLC will adhere to this new standard as well. As Los Ratones compete for a spot in the EME Masters, they will face stiff competition. Rudy Esports is assembling a strong lineup featuring Yankos and Perks. Again, that's going to be Perks in the top lane. Meanwhile, sources suggest Nord Esports is forming a team centered around streamers, while Verdant is pursuing former LEC players to bolster its roster. So lots of interesting teams in the NLC. It actually maybe won't be so easy to even qualify for EMEA Masters in the first place. We'll have to wait and see. And whoever doesn't qualify, they're going to get memed on. They're going to get clowned as well. So hopefully these guys do, show up and perform their best and take this thing seriously, because otherwise it could hurt their reputation and maybe their egos a little bit as well. With the introduction of competitive streaming and the high-profile arrival of Los Ratones, the NLC is becoming increasingly appealing to both teams and players. So hopefully this will be a fun ride. But yes, I am very excited to now announce, obviously, that we do know where Los Ratones will be playing next season. This is a huge announcement we've all been waiting for. And at this point, I'm just super excited. I can't wait for this thing to get started. I'm definitely going to be tuning into more NLC games in 2025 than I ever have before. But that's pretty much it for this video today. Hopefully, catch you guys in the next one. Until then.